lay the points. First thing first, let's get to the big issue of the day, and that is for all you ladies out there, all you mothers, happy mother. Um, Excellent work bringing us men into the world. Great job. No, I'm just joking on that. But you guys are the best mothers around the world. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for doing all the work. You know what I mean? The one thing I always think is funny about men is men think they're so special, but women create life. Men do this one little drop of work, and then women create life. Women make humans, not men. So let's celebrate these mamas out there. Celebrate them today. Hopefully, you guys are doing so. If you are a son and you did not tell your mama Happy Mother's Day, there's a problem there. You got to tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Do something nice for her, even if it's as simple as just go in and paying her car off, or something like that. I'm just joking. But do great things for your moms. Remember, they did all the great things for you growing up. Remember, they wiped your butt. So keep that in mind. All right, to the sports stuff. One of the best things that happened yesterday is I was right. And the XFL was a high-scoring game, over 48. A lot of people may have even had to get a 49. It went over that pretty easily. Stupid thing is not operating correctly here. All right, went over that pretty easily. Not a lot of struggle there. The first half was 26, which is 52 if you double it into the second half. So it was a relatively easy pay, guys. 9 out of 11 of the games for DC went over. Now, a lot of times it was them doing the heavy lifting. Not yesterday. And hopefully you guys listen to me on not playing DC, because I also mentioned that. I know I am all over the place here, guys. I'm trying to get this thing to act right. Justice quit, please. All right, so that's what we did yesterday. It was good play, good move. If you kept listening, I gave out the Dodgers and Padres over 4 for the first 5 innings. That also won. I also mentioned the Padres. Now, I didn't give that out necessarily. I said if I played that game, I'd play the Padres, which would have lost. But the over the first 5 innings won, and that's the one I said was a valuable play. But anyways, another thing is what I'm getting at there is how I knew that XFL game would go over was there was a couple reasons behind it, right? The first reason is 9 out of 11 of the DC games went over. The second reason is I knew that Arlington had Perez, who was playing a lot better at quarterback for them. So their 14 points a game wasn't the actual to where they were at. And that's a big difference. Like, because there's what your average says and there's what actually happens. And a lot of times averages will get skewed by big games or little games, and especially in a small sample size. I've seen that a couple years ago. There was a run where Miami or whatever gave up like 50 points in back-to-back games. Now, did that mean that their defense was that bad? No, it didn't mean that. And it ended up not being so bad at the end of the season. But so anyways, that's the kind of stuff you got to understand. In the XFL, there was only 10 games or 11 games or whatever. You're not getting a big sample size. So a 40-point game is going to really skew averages, or a 10-point game is going to skew averages. But anyway, so that was an easy win yesterday. Actually, in my opinion, it was a really, really easy win. I actually told the guys in my Discord to bet a lot more money on it. I said I was really heavy on it myself. Since I did crappy in baseball, it was probably a pretty good move. But anyways, what I want to talk about today, since we already talked about the important thing, which was our mamas, what we want to talk about today is we have a Game 7 in the NBA. We have the Philadelphia 76ers heading over to Boston. Mother's Day game. Let's see who gets it done. So this spread is 6.5, right? Philly's getting 6.5. To me, that seems like a lot in this series, since there's been a couple like last second shots that won and some pretty close games. But the number that got me the most was the 200.5 on the total. It's 201 in some spots now, but only one of the games out of the 6 has went under 200. And it was last game. And if you guys remember the last game, it was an absolutely abysmal third quarter by the 76ers shooting. I think they missed like 23s in the third quarter or something like that. And that's what made that game get real low scoring. I don't think that happens today. I think it's game seven. We're going to see the best players on the court for 40 plus minutes each. I wouldn't be surprised if guys like Embiid and Harden play 45 minutes, get one little break. Same thing with Tatum and their guys over there. It's game seven. You don't have no choice but to win. You can't move on without winning. There's no more tomorrow here, so you have to win. And I think that with along with the trend that it's 5-1 to the over 200, I think this is a pretty easy play. Again, I think over 200.5 or over 201, whatever you're getting at right now is fine. I'm guessing it'll be around 220, maybe 217 is what we're going to get. So I think there's a lot of room here. I actually think this one it gets over easily. I don't think there's, barring us having some just abysmal shooting night from both sides. You're going to have the best players on the floor the whole game. I think guys are going to come to play, and I think just the overall nature of the game seven, I think it's going to dictate both teams reach 100 points. Both teams reach 100 points, it has to go over, basically, unless it's 101 to 100, it would tie. Unless you got 200.5, then it would win. Hey, Googs, what's up, baby? But anyway, so again, that's one of those deals where I just think it's a bad number. I think Vegas is skewing this a little bit. Maybe they think something special happened in the last game that is going to dictate more. I don't. I think all that happened was that really bad third quarter that all those three-pointers missed. I just don't see that happen again. You're just not going to have shoot 7%. It was like they shot like 7% or something in that quarter. It's just not reality. That's an anomaly. It's a blip on the radar. The truth is, this game's probably 80 to 80 in the beginning of the fourth quarter, with both teams needing 20 points. That's where I think it's probably going to be at. I actually don't mind the plus 6.5. I don't think that Boston is better than Philadelphia. I just think that both teams decide when to have games. Like they don't have consistency to them. No matter how big their stars are and how much star power they have, they're very inconsistent in that way where one guy just doesn't show up, and so the other guy has to carry all the load. They both have two superstars, and then they both have a bunch of really solid role players. So again, I think if you were going to play the side aside, you have to take those 1.5 is too many to not take the points there. I mean, I obviously you could lose, but that's a lot of points in a game seven to me. I don't think this is a blowout either way. But my favorite play in the game is just that to go over the 200 points. I just don't see it staying under. It just seems like the situation dictates it. Plus, no matter what anyone says, the NBA wants to see 110 to 110. They don't want to see 85 to 95. They don't. It doesn't sell tickets. Now, obviously, you don't got to sell tickets to a game seven. They sell themselves, but it's one of those spots where I think it gets officiated a little looser, or maybe a little tighter to draw fouls. And I think the guys hit their threes in this one. I think they come to play both sides and they give it their all, which I think will turn out to points. And again, there is statistics backing. Obviously, out of the 6 games they've played already, 5 of them have went over this number. So that's a pretty good sign. It's the same exact handicapping I used for the game last night with the football. 9 out of 11 had went over. To me, it seemed pretty obvious that one was going to go over. So it's a similar situation here. Again, you're playing essentially a championship game, for these guys. So game 7, it's going to be a good one. I like a lot about it. I think there's a lot of good prop plays in it that I'm not going to give out on here because people that pay me would appreciate me not giving that for free. So I put some props in. Again, it's a good spot to be in. I think that's a really low number. That's a really low total. I mean, that's about as low as they get in the NBA right there. So I like it. Hello, Sleepy. How are you, buddy? I haven't interacted with you in a long time. But anyways, if anyone's got any questions, testing, testing. Are you not hearing me? I'm pretty sure everyone else is. Okay. What's up, Fuzzy? Yeah, the Rays and Yankees, I'm staying away from that because I was on the Rays 2 days in a row and got smacked by ridiculous crap that fell apart on me yesterday, 6-0, and falls apart. I'm great, Sleepy. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny that that game's going to go over, right? I mean, would you play the under nine? That's the thing is, are you willing to be on the under nine? Now, I think they have Elfin pitching, which is solid, but the Yankees have Schmidt pitching, which is terrible. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Tampa Bay scores 8 again and the Yankees score 9 again. What happened here? Stop. Hello, hello, hello. Well, something's going on with my. Oh, that's frustrating.